all, thanks. Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank the UK and Ireland SAP Group for giving me an opportunity to present this webinar through your platform. So my name is Vinod, and I work as a solution consultant with Simtrack. So before starting, I would like to introduce my team members as well. So I have got Omlade here with me, and Omlade is our technical consultant.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I have also got Florian. Florian is our SAP expert.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, now we will start. So in this session or in this webinar, I will explain how the output documents from your SAP can be customized and automatically distributed based on your business process. So moving on to the agenda. To start with, I will give you an overview of the common bottlenecks that are associated with customizing the SAP output documents. Then we'll move on to Combio Hybrid, where I will give you an overview about our solution offering that is Combio Hybrid, and I will also explain how Combio Hybrid can address the bottlenecks. Then we will move on to the functional overview, where I will refer to a couple of use cases from the projects that we have done for one of our customer. Then we'll move on to the solution demonstration. And over here, I will hand over the session to Omlade, and Omlade will run a live demo. And he will show you how the output document from SAP can be customized using or as per the business process. Then I will speak a bit about Symtrax, and I will provide you an overview of our company. Along with that, I will also highlight our key solution offerings. So I will start with the relevance of this particular topic. So whatever industry you are in, it can be like hospitality, healthcare, banking, finance, insurance, etc. Your business process will be constantly changing, and it can be due to a number of reasons. It can be due to a disruption in your industry, or it can be due to the demands from your key end users, or it can be also due to the regulations put forward by the government or the public sector from time to time. So agility is a key factor, and your IT system should be such that it should be flexible enough to accommodate all these changes with ease. So if you're using SAP for your business, and if you have ever attempted to customize the output document from your SAP, you should be aware of the following bottlenecks. So your business scenario will be constantly changing, and your key end customers might come up with all sort of changes or demands. It can be something like add more content to the output document from your SAP, or even remove some of the content or retrieve some information from third-party site, or it can be something like changing the layout of the document, or even changing the format of the document as such. So SAP has got its own or integrated output document management feature, but it has got its own limitations. It's complex, and it's time-consuming process. So just to give you an example, a couple of weeks back, I had a meeting with one of my customer, and they were constantly onboarding new end users. And in order to onboard a new user, they need to customize the invoice template, or even create a new template for their invoices because of the complexity in their invoicing process. Also, they need to configure or automate the workflow. So they were taking around 12 days to onboard a single user. And they were outsourcing this particular job to a third-party SAP consultant, and they were paying a lot of money for onboarding a single user. So it's not practical in a long run. Also, every now and then you'll be getting a lot of regulatory compliances from the public sector or even from the government, right? Just to give you an example, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia they have decided to implement a centralized e-invoicing portal, the Fatura portal. And all the businesses are supposed to clear their invoices through that portal before sending it out to the buyer. So basically, seamless adoption of SAP forms, it's complex and it's highly time-consuming. So now I will highlight some of the challenges associated with customizing the output documents. To start with, standardization of documents. So you might need to introduce your corporate outlook, or you might need to furnish your logo or your color scheme onto the output document from SAP. Or it can be like something like a document transformation, like adding or removing content, or retrieving some additional content from third-party sites, or even from your SAP using BAPI calls, and furnishing those information onto the output device. Or it can be also something like changing the layout of the document, or performing some complex arithmetic operations using the figures that are there in the output document. Or it can be something like transforming the document entirely, so that including the format, so that it can be seamlessly integrated with some government portal, or even your third-party applications. So in the ongoing session, I will explain how Compleo Hybrid can be used to address all these challenges and bottlenecks. So Compleo Hybrid is our solution offering, and it's I would say it's a suite. It consists of a suite of products, or what I would like to call as a collection of software modules that can be used to transform and automatically distribute the documents based on your business process. So I will start with the integration part. So Compleo Hybrid can be seamlessly integrated with your SAP system. So we do have SAP certified active connectors using which we can directly integrate Compleo Hybrid, so that after the integration, it can directly retrieve the required information from your SAP system. So we also have a SAP BC sum connector, which basically uses SAP, or which basically uses the BC sum protocol to retrieve information from SAP. So also, Compleo Hybrid can monitor the output devices, or even the output folder. So basically, when you issue an output from your SAP, or when you print a document from your SAP, it will be available across the output device, and Compleo Hybrid can automatically retrieve the document, and it can be transformed based on your business process. So again, coming to the integration part, the integration is seamless. We can integrate Compleo Hybrid with your SAP system within a single day, or maximum 2. That too without any customization, or any ABAP development, or any coding at your side. So the integration is seamless. And once Compleo Hybrid has been integrated, it can retrieve all sort of output document formats, such as XSF, PDF, SAP Gov, IDoc, etc. Now we will move on to the document transformation part. So after successfully retrieving the document can be transformed in a number of ways. Like I have already mentioned, it can be something like adding or removing content, changing the format, changing the layout, etc. So I will stick on to some practical examples here. Suppose you are dealing with invoices, so you are retrieving an invoice from your SAP, from the SAP system, and you want to retrieve the corresponding purchase order number, or even the purchase order itself for verification. Yeah. Then Compleo Hybrid can automatically identify some unique identifiers in the invoice. It can be something like customer name or a customer ID, using which it can retrieve the corresponding purchase order number, or even the document as such from your SAP. And the Compleo Hybrid can furnish the purchase order number onto the invoice. Another example is that Compleo Hybrid can automatically identify the total invoice amount, and if it is above a particular threshold value, the document or the invoice will be automatically routed to the internal user before sending it out to the vendor, or even to the external user. Similarly, if you're dealing with an agreement or a contract, and if you want to add additional documents, such as the payment terms, or even the terms and conditions, Compleo Hybrid can immediately retrieve some unique identifier, using which the corresponding addendum, or the additional document can be retrieved from either from your ERP or from your SAP itself, and the document can be added to that to the output document from SAP. Now, if you want to transform a document to a different format, so that it can be integrated with the public sector, or it can be integrated with the government portal, or even it can be integrated with a third-party system, automatically we can transform the document to another format as well. Now we will move on to the distribution part. So here, the modified documents can be distributed through different channels. So it can be either integrated with your partner's IT system, or it can be attached, or it can be saved onto third-party systems such as OneDrive, Google Drive, S3 bucket, etc. Also, the modified document can be saved back onto your SAP system as well. Also, the final document can be sent in the form of an email to an external user. So here we are not attaching the document as such due to security reasons. We will be providing only a link in the email so that the external user can click on that particular link and he'll be able to access the document after a two-factor authentication. So here you can see that the end-to-end process, right from retrieving the document till distributing the document, it has been automated, and all the transformation or the automation or the entire process can be completed within a couple of seconds. And earlier I mentioned about a customer and they were taking around 12 man days to onboard a single customer to their system. So using Combio Hybrid, we configured a POC, a proof of concept, and we were able to onboard a single customer within a day, including testing. So we reduced the effort to 1/12 of the actual time, and corresponding reduction in cost was also there. So in order to wind it up, seamless integration is possible without any ABAP development, and also the modified document can be saved back to your SAP system. Also, we can transform the document with ease, and also whatever be your business process, the end-to-end process can be automated. Also, the document can be distributed through different channels. We can integrate the document to the partner's IT system, or we can send the document link to an external user. We can also transform and integrate the transformed document to a third party, or even to a government portal. Now we will move on to the principle of operation. So here I'm not going to mention anything about the integration, transformation, or even the distribution. I will focus on a couple of our modules. So here I'm not going to mention all the modules that are there in Combio Hybrid, because within half an hour I can't explain all the modules. So here you can see something called Combio Supervisor, which is the core part of our solution. So after successfully integrating Combio Hybrid with your SAP system, Compleo Supervisor can interact with your ERP or with your SAP system, and it can retrieve all the useful information or even the document as such, and it can be attached to different scenarios. So scenarios are basically different workflows that are automated, and based on the properties of the retrieved document, it will be automatically attached to a particular scenario. The scenario can be like an authentication cycle, or a e-signature, or a digital signature cycle, or it can be even something like changing the layout or converting the format of the document, etc., based on your business process. Also, through Combio Supervisor, you will be able to see the entire status of a particular scenario, like what is the status of a particular document, whether it has been sent out to the external user, and if at all there is an error, you can also check the log for that particular error. Also, you can configure load balancing through Combio Supervisor, and in the ongoing slides, Florian will provide you more details regarding how we can configure load balancing. And here you can see a couple of modules, that is Compleo Layout and Compleo Designer. So Compleo Layout basically accept SAP's pool files as input, and the corresponding files can be adapted, and it can be remodeled, and it can be customized based on your business process. It can also be converted to different format like PDF, FactRex, etc. So Compleo Designer more or less deals with a structured file format. For example, Compleo Designer can accept an XSF file from the SAP as an input, and the document can be transformed based on the business requirement. And finally, the transformed document can be distributed through different channels. So I have already covered that topic. So here you can see an interface of Combio Supervisor, and we have already integrated the SAP system using SAP certified active connectors. And here you can see the parameters that are required for integrating Combio Hybrid with your SAP system, like the application server, the instance number, gateway host, gateway service, the logon credentials, etc. So this is applicable to SAP certified active connectors. Now we will move on to the use cases, and here I've explained some of the applications of Combio Hybrid, and I will refer a couple of use cases from the projects that we have done for one of our customer, that is Axens. So Axens offers a full range of solutions that includes equipments, technologies, and services using which the oil and biomass fuels can be converted to clean fuels. So basically, Axens is also into the purification and production of petrochemical intermediates. So coming to the customer overview and the requirement, so Axens had to bring flexibility to their IT system. So Axens had to process more than 700,000 document pages per day. And after that, it needs to be distributed to their offices across 8 countries, that too in 4 different languages. So this was an absolute nightmare for them. So they were not able to customize the document as per the business requirement, and they were not able to efficiently distribute the documents to their offices within the deadline. So we had a session with Axens and we studied their requirement, after which using Compleo, we were able to automate or customize or even automatically transform all the 700,000 document pages from their SAP. After which the document, we automatically distributed the document to their individual offices across 8 countries, that too making sure that the regulations applicable to individual offices were met. So just to give you an example, if Axens had to send a document to their office in Saudi Arabia, Combio Hybrid made sure that all the mandatory fields in the output document that were converted to Arabic. And if at all they want to send a document to India, the corresponding document that is applicable to the Indian office, it was attached onto the output document. So thus we were able to bring flexibility to their IT system. And we had to start with, we had to onboard around 700 users from around 8 countries. And in phase 1, we onboarded 30 users from their France office. And in the remaining phase, we onboarded the 600 plus users from their offices spread across 8 countries. So moving on to the technology stack, they were having 2 SAP environments, and 1 production and 1 quality, and they were using ECC6 EHP8 HANA in their France office. And just to give you the size, just to give you an idea regarding the size of or the quantity of the documents that Compleo had to process. So every 3 seconds, 1 document was being generated, which had to be processed by Compleo Hybrid. Now we will move on to the functional overview. So the functionality starts right from when a user log on to the SAP, and they will issue an output. And here you can see that the message type is BAOO, which means the code is for displaying the order confirmation document. And after printing that particular document, the output will be available across the output document will be available across the output device or even the output folder. So this is basically the default output format from the SAP. So immediately, Combio Hybrid will retrieve this particular document, and it will be converted to something like what you can see in the screen. So for the sake of comparison, I will move on to the next slide. Here you can see the before and after status. You can see that the corporate identity has been implemented. You can see a new logo is there in place, and also the tabular column. The tabular columns, additional columns has been additional rows has been introduced. The color scheme has been changed, and additional content has been furnished. And also the relevant document has been added as attachment. Obviously, you can't see the additional documents through this screen. So the transformation happened within a couple of seconds, that too without any human intervention. Now we will move on to the technical architecture, and I will hand over the session to Florian, and he will provide you more information on the architecture and how we configured the load balancing.
Yes, you can hear me. It's okay. You can hear me. Okay.
You are quite quiet, Florian.
Yes, can you hear me? It's okay. Yes.
Your
hello,
voice is a bit feeble, Florian.
Yes, I'm here. I'm not muted. It's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, it's just,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry. Yes, so the idea here is to show you how to create a load balancing architecture, which also include backup architecture. Okay. Here, the idea is to have only one connector to the SAP system. Okay. We can connect to production, development, qualification, whatever the system, the SAP system you want. And then here you can how our main supervisor will retrieve the document from SAP, or maybe it's more the document is sent by SAP to our solution, and a service will drop this token linked to this document, will drop a token into a database, and we can set up more than 2, 3, 4. This is up to you. We can set up more supervisor, and the token will be retrieved each second, maybe less. The token will be retrieved by all supervisor in the architecture. It means we can treat something like 3, 4, 5, 6 documents at each time. It means if you have something like 10, 20 printed document at the same time in your subsystem, all these documents will be treated at the same time by our solution. It means if you have a lot of person which are printing, yes, it's okay. You will have the document available really fastly. If it is sending an email or if it is just drop the document on a platform, it will be treated at the same time, and you will not have a long time to receive your document. Yes, it's okay, Vinod.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Florian, for the overview. Now we will move on to the next slide. So this is a testimonial by one of our customer, by Mr. Pascal Zini, who is the director of IT systems for Axens. So the video is basically in French, so I have included the subtitles in English. So that was Mr. Pascal Zini, the director of IT systems for Axens. Now we will move on to the solution demonstration, and I will hand over the session to Omlade, and he'll be running a live demo on how to customize the output document from SAP based on certain parameters. So before handing over the session, this will be a straightforward demo, and if at all you want a customized demo including your documents, obviously we can do that as well. And I have already provided, I'll be providing my contact details towards the end of the webinar, and obviously you can contact me. So over to you, Omlade.
Thank you very much, Vinod. Hi, everyone. My name is Omlade Yajibade, the technical consultant for our UK branch office, Simtrax Limited. So right now I'm going to share my screen to show you a quick demonstration. Okay. So over here, you can see this is our SAP, which I'm going to log into. So then I'm just going to go retrieve the document that we've actually prepared for this demonstration. So as you can see, I've actually logged in, and this is the invoice number for the particular demonstration. And you can go on to see all what we have in here. We have the items, we have the description, order quantity. Okay, I'm going to go on to issue and output now. And according to what Vinod has explained in the presentation earlier, we go on to print options. We just want to confirm that we have everything, every parameters in there. So we're going to preview the document itself. So this is the basic output from SAP, as you can see. This, as Vinod mentioned earlier, can't be transformed. It's just right from SAP. But with our tool, we go on in and we will transform this particular document. Then we go on to print. We can see down here, it says output was successfully issued. So what's going to happen in the background is our supervisor has been connected to the SAP. We retrieve the spool file. As soon as we issue an output, we get a token, then a scenario was created at the back end, which would have a template applied onto it, and we will get a final document. I'm going to share the final document now. So we've configured this particular demonstration so we would have the document attached and sent to a particular email. Now I'm going to share the document itself, which we have printed. Okay, this is the end file that we get after issuing an output. And also with the solution, we've actually attached a document, which means you can easily attach documents such as these, terms and conditions of sale. This will be done automatically. You don't need to, we've programmed into the template we've created for this particular demonstration, so it should be done automatically. So we go back to the SAP, which is where we have the end file actually saved back onto the SAP. Okay. So right here, we go back into the document itself. Okay, so we can see the date right here. This is the same output file that we got earlier. It's loading. So we can see that right from the SAP, we can actually still retrieve the document that we've, the end file that we got earlier that has been attached to the email. This is the same document. We can check the document number, which is 14401, and the items and all the other inputs right there, information's on it. So I'm just going to show what the template looks like. This is one of our module. We call, Vinod explained it earlier, we call Compleo layouts, and we can see that we've actually transformed the output that we get from the SAP. And this is exactly what we've done. We've transformed this, we've created this with this particular module, and that's the end file that you can see. Okay. Thank you very much. Over to you, Vinod.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Omlade. Thanks for the demo, user or to the buyer. So the key objective is to, completely eliminate the paper-based and handwritten invoices and encourage the businesses to move towards electronic e-invoicing. And another objective is to completely eliminate the black economy in the market. So the project is divided into two, and phase 1 and phase 2 requirements. So the phase 1 requirement is straightforward. The phase 1 requirement is to generate an electronic invoice and convert it into a PDF A3 format and send it across to the buyer. So I'm not going into the details of phase 1 because in phase 2 requirement I have already included the end-to-end functionality. So coming to phase 2, here we integrated Combio Hybrid with SAP with Axens SAP system, and we were able to retrieve the invoice details through an HSF file. So after retrieving the HSF file, some mandatory fields pertaining to the invoices, again, they were retrieved from the HSF file, and it was sent. It was converted to a UBL format. So now the UBL file, it was integrated with the Fatura platform where the invoice will get cleared, and the Fatura platform will return some of the parameters like a unique ID for that particular invoice. Then there will be a cryptographic stamp. Then there will be a cryptographic identifier along with an hash code for security purpose. Now, Combio Hybrid will retrieve all this information, and along with some mandatory invoice parameters, it will prepare a QR code. It will develop a QR code, and it will be furnished onto the invoice, and the invoice will be printed in a PDF A3 format, which is called which we mentioned as a hybrid invoice, which is basically something like an electronic container having the invoice in both human readable as well as in a machine readable format. Now it will be sent to the buyer in the form of an email, as an attachment in an email, and the buyer will be able to scan the QR code, and they will be able to verify the clearance status through the Fatura platform. So here we successfully integrated Compleo Hybrid with the SAP and the SAP system of the customer, and we were also able to integrate or communicate with the Fatura platform. And the end-to-end requirement that are applicable to the SATCA invoicing project, we were able to meet. And finally, we were able to deliver the hybrid invoice to the buyer. So currently, we have signed the SATCA invoicing project with more than 4+ customers across the globe. And for some customers, we have started to implement the phase 2 functionalities as well. Now I will move on to more use cases. So we don't have enough time, so I will just give you a walkthrough. For Ricola, we retrieved the invoice automatically from their SAP environment, and then we were also able to, at the same time, we were also able to retrieve the recipient's email using BAPI calls, and we were able to automatically distribute the document to the concerned user. For Autoliv, again, we retrieved the invoice from their SAP system, after which digital signature was implemented on the document, and a copy was saved back onto the SAP system. And finally, the document, the invoice with the digital signature, it was sent to the recipient. Now for Tata Chemicals, again, we retrieved the invoice pools and captured the digital signatures onto the particular document. After that, it was distributed. And also we automated the purchase order to sales order process in their SAP. And another requirement was to print the customized IT report, so that there's no need for internal users to log on to SAP and refer multiple modules and prepare a customized report. So for Princess, again, we did the same thing. We prepared a customized report, and we made the reports directly, or we made it available to the sales and admin users directly in their mailbox. So using Compleo Hybrid, we prepared around 1,500 reports per week. So you can see a list of our clients, and you can see some top players as well. Now I will speak a bit about Simtrack. So till date, we have associated with more than 3,500 customers across different industries. So our technical and solution consultants are well aware of the different bottlenecks that are there in a particular industry, and we do have tailored solutions for that, for your bottlenecks as well. So we do have 8 offices across the globe, and recently we have opened an office in Singapore. That means we can provide 24-hour support to all our customers. And on an average, we do have 12 years of customer loyalty. And we do have partnership with Microsoft, IBM, and we are also an SAP certified solution provider. Coming to our expertise, we provide enterprise e-invoicing solution. We are also into electronic and digital signature solutions. We also provide EDI ready solutions. And one of our core competency, that is the digital data and document transformation solutions. Now, I will move on to the Q&A part. So let me check the Q&A chat. So I have got a few questions here. So to start with, what are the file formats that can be converted to multiple formats? So if my understanding is correct, you are referring to the to your SAP system. So once we have integrated Combio Hybrid to the SAP system, we can retrieve the output files in different formats. So we can directly retrieve the files, and also we can monitor the output devices, and we can retrieve files. Just to give an example, we can retrieve HSF files, SAP Gov files, PDF files, IDoc, etc. And finally, these files can be transformed, and it can be processed based on the business process. And another question is that can the solution be integrated with SAP B1? So this is something that I forgot to mention in the deck. So basically, our solution can be integrated with SAP Business One as well, and we can integrate Compleo Hybrid, and immediately we can retrieve all the relevant information or relevant document from SAP B1. The document can be processed and saved back onto the SAP on your SAP Business One environment as well. So how long does a typical project last? So yeah, it completely depends. So like I have already mentioned, we can integrate our solution with your system within maximum 2 days. After that, we can transform your documents, and on an average, I would say maybe 20 man days, we can complete a project. Again, it depends upon the complexity of your workflows, the quantity of the documents that you're dealing with, and also the different layouts of the final document that you're dealing with. And also it depends upon the complexity of the distribution channel. So on an average, I would say 20 days. So meanwhile, I will share my contact details as well. So here I have provided my contact details. You can either directly call me, or you can send me an email, and also you can scan the QR code so that you can connect with me through LinkedIn. So I'm still waiting for some questions. So yeah, I have got another one. So how does Compleo work with API? So for integrating with SAP, I have already mentioned that. But what will be your back office system? It can be like an SAP Oracle or IBM, or what will be the ERP that you're using. We do have web API connectors using which we can directly integrate with your back office system. So basically, we can integrate, and we can retrieve the data in the required format. It can be an XML file, or we can even retrieve the PDF files after integrating with your ERP system. So I assume I have answered your question. So yeah, I have got another question. So how long are documents visible back in the core ERP system? Invoices per the example where archiving is required for visibility up to 10 years in some regions. So So we can save the document back onto your ERP. So it's up to your ERP system to decide like how long you need to transfer. So to store that particular document. So basically, we are not storing any of your document, especially due to the security reasons. We are just processing the documents and we are not storing any of your document. So it's up to your business process, and it has nothing to relate with our solution, in fact.
So I think if we've kind of got no more questions from any of the attendees, we could wrap up a bit early, or if you would like to. Unless you've got anything else to share, Vinod.
No, that's all from my side.
Yeah. So any more questions from anybody, or are we okay to just wrap up about 10 minutes early? I think everyone's kind of asked as many as possible. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much from Simtrax and Vinod, Florian and Omalade for hosting this webinar today. We hope you found it really insightful and interesting. The recording will be available on the event page later on this afternoon if anyone's missed it. And yeah, that's all we've got to say, really. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Ellie. Thanks a lot for all the attendees. Obviously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you. Bye.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.